Hi guys, I have a great update for us here. I think you're gonna love everything I'm showing. I don't expect further comments, but of course, if there are any, we can always pick them up and adjust. But the goal for me right now is to get this in front of planning so that when they go out to see the story poles you built, they will look more like these plans rather than the plans they have in hand right now. But I'm really happy with how simple and it's still a very contemporary home, but it's a lot simpler and a lot less museum quality than I was proposing before. So let's go ahead and walk through here. We can start to see the jog in this front fence line or this front entry wall. We're still keeping the entry gate here centered between the main house and the garage covered pergola. No skylights here in the garage covered pergola and no skylights here in the front covered balcony. But everything's looking really clean here. I think you're going to really like this. And so this acts as the fall guard for the house. I opted to offset it from the corner of the house just a little bit, just to say, for the sake of a cleaner elevation here. Materials aren't assigned yet, but this wall, this retaining wall for the light well down here, would just continue up vertically. So a small offset there, and I don't want to do the same offset here though. This wall does die into this garage corner because I also want the steel structure here, this moment frame, to also die onto that wall. So this is intentional, but I like it a lot. Still seeing the hip roof here over this covered porch because from an eye level perspective, it looks great. So some changes that we're seeing here. Everything's really cleaned up on the side here. I did opt to alter the bedroom windows a little bit to perfectly vertically stack above the openings that we have into the mudroom and into the powder room because it's good enough for this bedroom. It's got plenty of natural light. And then these doors are nicely centered on in the mudroom space, and this window in the powder room is directly across from that opening, the door into the powder room. And so honestly, I feel like this is just ultra fine-tuned, really, really smart. Not quite perfect for this bedroom in terms of being centered in the wall, but it's definitely balanced enough. And structurally, doing these windows stacked over here is going to make the structural engineer so very happy to have a tall two-story shear wall here and another one right here. So I think this is the right move. I've also shifted the window for the shared bathroom to align with the edge of this window, which is a repeated module, a narrower module. We've narrowed the module consistently throughout the home here. And so I've opted to use one of these in the living room at this side. Why not? I can't believe I was only doing high windows before. Now when we're in this living room, it's fantastic. Oh my God, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Sit down at the piano here. Oh my goodness. This is gorgeous. All right. So bigger windows, but this is all really structurally sound, right? Because this module stacks over the basement windows, the basement sliding glass doors for this basement ensuite. It's just so perfect, right? I'm very happy with the refinement that we've got here. Now we've still got the cantilever happening here. It's a slight arbitrary amount, 1'7.5", but it looks good. And taking clues from the conversations we had about this corner window here at the master closet and the office windows below that, I've taken cues from that to solve the issue I was having with this front-facing bedroom and the closet in the corner and the lack of balance at this front entry. So just as we've slightly extended the metal siding material to come out past the edge of the window, I'm opting to do that here as well to align this siding detail with the edge of these operable window sections down below. And then only here, we turn the bottom here. So it'd be a stucco soffit here, but then the same metal soffit turned here. And I think that would be a really nice way to tie these windows together. I'm seeing now that I've maybe not fully incorporated the 3-inch drop here at the front. And by the way, I opted to do that for you. I'm lowering all the windows by 3 inches. So these windows are all consistently the same height on the ground floor, but they're all 3 inches from the ceiling. And now the only place that we really have to the ceiling windows is here at the great room, which really, really does deserve it. Everywhere else, happy to give a 3-inch drop from the ceiling, and it's still going to be ultra fantastic. All right, let's see here. Oh, so but pausing here to look at the balance here, I feel like it's quite balanced. 3 windows was too much. I never liked having to jog in the wall or put a frosted window in this really this one closet does not need natural light. I feel like this looks really balanced. I hope you agree. We can continue to tweak things, of course, but this works out really well, I think. And so coming in from the upstairs bedroom, I should probably move this guy over. Really great windows. All right. At the front entry, I showed this before, but we've got this full full height 2-story feature here happening now, and we've got the consistent openings happening at the entry down below as well as the balcony up above. And I've just been consistent also with incorporating these bench details. So we'd be able to sit down on this bench and really enjoy this built-in recess and give it some real purpose besides just being a entry feature and a really cool looking aesthetic. Now it's got a double purpose. Not too many changes on these sides here. Everything's working really well in terms of windows and um, being all the windows being stacked and really being purposeful. And I've omitted some windows and skylights here. Now we're seeing the master vestibule, the master suite vestibule. This is the window at the potential desk area, and we're seeing a skylight illuminating this side as well as a skylight illuminating the wet bar. And this skylight here also stacks with the hers closet, the larger of the two walk-in closets for the master suite. So when you're standing here at the door, you get the view of the trees that I still really like, but there's still enough natural light coming into this space, especially with this nice window, which does have a fantastic view. And if I were sitting here at this desk, I would really love and appreciate being able to turn and look out at this view. Really special view. And we're seeing a glimpse here of the skylight just beyond the laundry area. Sorry, I said skylight, right? I meant the chandelier here at the stair tower. There's no skylight at the stair tower. The skylight, though, at the top of the stair area is now aligned with this furnace closet. There's this furnace closet that comes out. It juts out. It's part of this laundry closet wing. And now, by having the skylight align here, my hope is that the light that comes down through the skylight is going to bounce off of this painted wall, this brightly painted wall, and really push the light that we get into the stair area without interfering at all with the composition of the chandelier. Now, is it possible to bring that skylight over and bring it closer to this area? Sure. But I do think that given certain sun angles, there'll still be some real interesting dramatic lighting happening through that skylight down into the top of the stairs. I know I'm going too fast here. Sorry, guys. Let's see what else has changed. Not too many changes here. I still really love Gary's suggestion of dropping the siding here at these tall windows. It ties everything together really nicely. I have balanced out the windows and the openings for the master suite. Everything's working really well here. I have opted to just go with one window at the pantry area rather than the pair. We don't need the pair. It's fine just to have the one. I'm happy to have that. Very grateful to have that, actually. Cleaned up the basement doors a little bit, and in the hopes of getting this same consistent module, the same width window or sliding glass door throughout the house, including at this downstairs master suite, I'm opting to move that wall that separates the rec room from the suite by about, I think it was about 4 inches. I'll double check, but this gets a little bit bigger, but the rec room's still a great size. It's not a bearing wall, or at least I don't expect it to be, but it's important to me that there be this consistency of modules. But everything's stacked here, so the kitchen windows are centered in the kitchen, and it's actually centered on this length of cabinet run. So when we get the cabinets, right here at the center will probably be the sink, and centered on that is this window bank. And this window bank, that edge there, is what determines the edge there, so that there's a nice structural wall right here. And then I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. There's going to be a lot of steel in this wall, but hopefully it'll be lighter weight steel because of these smart stacks that we've got. The great room hasn't changed other than seeing the cleaned up little storage alcove right here. So there's a display there that you could get to via ladder, I expect. And then behind this wall would be the remainder of the attic storage space that would be accessed via a small short door here. I don't think there are any other changes to the design. The ADU is cleaned up. Got the garage doors in that you asked for. Really cleaned up the amount of details on the side over here. And then, of course, the pool is no longer shown. I'm not entirely sure what the temporary or what the retaining wall situation should be, but I think that could get finalized after the house is underway. So with your blessing and sign off, I will polish up the architectural plan set that I developed for the planning department to previously review and approve. I'll get this over to them for their re-review. I don't suspect they're going to have any issues with this at all. In fact, Tim at Planning already alluded to this all being basically the same in terms of what they're reviewing at this stage. So I don't expect any pushback from planning, but then I also want to update structural so that they can get underway with the almost complete rework. The basement retaining walls are different, a lot of interior walls are reworked, and then there's a completely new roof design with this all hip roof design that we've got to get them working on. But happy to do that as soon as I hear from you that this looks great and there are no more comments. Thank you guys so much. Can't wait to see this beautiful house get built. Thanks, guys.